So Jon Jones just failed his UFC 214 post-fight drug test for steroids, and it's another fucking horrible verdict for Jon Jones. Just terrible for his career. It might be over with at this point. They can ban him for up to 4 years, which I think they should throw the book at him. Because if you look at how the fight went, I'm also watching Dana White's Contender Series. I'll let you get a peek at that. So I'm a little distracted, but I'm giving you my first take of this situation. But if you look at the fight, and you look at Jon Jones' fights throughout his career, he's been an aggressive fighter that comes forward, and he's kind of different in different fights, but he's always had like that TRT Vitor kind of just testosterone filled rage that they fuel their fighting with. And you can tell when a fighter's on steroids and when they're not. And obviously, Jon Jones was clean for his fight. His comeback fight was really boring. 5 round decision. It's my mind's going blank on who he fought. Shit. I think it starts with an O maybe. Anyway, but in that fight, he didn't have that aggressive mentality. He was just in there, kind of oh wow knockout here on Contender Series. So I'll let you peek at that. Let's peek at this real quick. Some fighters naturally have that, mentality, like the Diaz brothers, McGregor. A lot of fighters have that natural mentality, but you can tell a huge difference in fighters that are on steroids and how they approach a fight, how they come forward, how they're aggressive, how they throw strikes to knock you out. Hopefully they'll show this replay real quick so I don't waste this video. There we go. Snoopcast. See, these are young, hungry fighters, and they're putting on that, aggressive performance there in front of Dana White, trying to get a contract. So you really see a lot of better fights on this show because they're all fighting for a contract, trying to be as impressive as they can, not just trying to win the fight and stay in the UFC, trying to get in there. But anyway, back to Jon Jones. How he approached that fight with DC, obviously he had some mental insecurities about fighting, off steroids because he saw how he performed in his last fight. And it's kind of, to DC and the UFC and to the fans, it's a slap in the face. And you have to kind of wonder, did the UFC know beforehand? You have that thought comes in your head because it's happened before with Brock Lesnar. It's happened before with Nick Diaz and Anderson Silva. He fought in all kinds of shit, and they knew it. So you have to ask yourself, did the UFC know beforehand and then let it happen anyway because it's too much money to lose? You have all this, advertising and marketing, all this stuff, all this millions and millions of dollars spent on this fight. It's going to be a huge fight. Jon hasn't fought in over a year, and it's just a huge spectacle. And they can't pull him out and lose millions and millions of dollars. They can't do it, especially with this new management. They're trying to earn as much money as they can. So they really don't give a shit if he goes in there on steroids. And look what he did. He went in there on steroids, and he knocked Daniel out brutally. Brutal knockout. And for him to be on steroids and to do that, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I'd love to see what Daniel Cormier's take is on this, because now he's the champ again, even though he brutally got knocked out. He shouldn't fight for a while, and it's really kind of odd for him just to go back and be the champion because Jon is DQ'd when how that fight went. You kind of need to have in my opinion, you let Cormier sit out for about a year and have an interim title bout between, Ozdemir and someone. I don't know. Gustafsson, I guess. But this is really just wild. I mean, for Jon Jones, his career is just, he shitted it away. Because I guess mental insecurities, he thought he could get away with it. It's just, you gotta just facepalm. I don't know what else to say. It's a slap in the face to the whole sport for him to go in there on steroids and to knock out DC like that. It's ridiculous, and I have to assume that they had to have some inkling of an idea. You have to test them pre-fight, and you have to test them post-fight. You have to test them throughout the camp, and we never really heard too much news about tests throughout this marketing campaign. You never heard much about it. So then after the fight, it comes out and it's kind of sneaky how they just TMZ drops it before anybody. There's no UFC statement out as far as I know. They have this Tuesday night contender series with Dana right there, and I guarantee they won't interview him about it. They're not gonna fucking say shit about it. They're gonna try to push it under the rug and act like they had no idea, no culpability for this, And it's just, it is insane. For Jon Jones, your career's over, buddy. You came in there on steroids multiple times. You got busted with steroids, all these drugs, and we all have a past. We all have, skeletons in our closets and stuff like that. But for you to have this whole comeback thing and you changed your whole life and you're doing the right thing now, and to come out there and win like he won, and then to have the post-fight speech, being kind to Daniel, you all gotta relate it to steroids. The steroids in his body affected that fight. How he fought, how he acted. You could tell he's puffed up by the steroids. He needed that confidence from the steroids, and it's just ridiculous. So now they strip Jon Jones. He's going to be suspended. I hope they suspend him for 4 years and say, fuck it. You're done. He can come back in Bellator in 4 years or something. It's ridiculous. So, in the comments, let me know what you think. Let me get your take, I guess, if you want to. And let's just let's see what the fucking MMA community explodes about this. There's gonna be memes. There's gonna be all kinds of shit, and I can't wait to see what all the fighters say about it. I can't wait to hear what Cormier thinks. It's big news. So just take it all in. I guess as an MMA fan, you can enjoy this. It's another part of the spectacle, but it's a sad day for MMA when your greatest fighter of all time is repeatedly busted for steroids and all this stuff. Your best fighter in the sport. Huge shade. MMA kind of needs McGregor to win this fight. They really need him to now. Because MMA and UFC, they're going to be looked down upon for all this shit. So they need something positive. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to. I might do some more of these in the future. But anyway, have a good day.